Hello and welcome, BitMonger family. Monger with you here today, coming at you from Thailand. Hope you guys are all doing well and a wakey bakey. And in today's video, I'm going to take a quick look at Bitcoin, the price action, and what I'm seeing in the market. I'm also going to bring up the idea of metals, and I'm looking at copper. And I think copper might be a good play. It's already had quite a nice run, but I think it's a metal that we really need to be putting on the radar. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss that, and I'm going to look at two different copper options that you might want to consider, and things that I'm doing. I've already allocated some money into copper. I did it a few weeks back. Didn't place a large amount, but I'm looking to probably increase my stake because I do think that it might be something that is a good diversifier in your portfolio, and I'll get into that. But first, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin, see what's happening with our Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, as we can see, it still is just range bound, guys. It's trading right around that $68,500 mark, like I had mentioned before. That looks like a crucial line in the sand. One thing to note is that if we're looking at this range bound action where it's been coming in here, right, and bouncing up and down, we could see that it made a high here, it made a high here, it nearly hit it here, but it's, if you can see, it is consistently making lower highs. This one, it got a little bit higher than this last one, but not much. It didn't break this one, and it certainly hasn't broken this top line here at 71,500. So I think we're in a grind session. I think Bitcoin is just trying to figure out which way to go. One way to look at this is it has been bouncing off 65, so you could look to scalp it when it hits that, or it just breaks underneath it, put a long on it, have some sort of invalidation point to try to scalp it. But it does look like it's also making higher lows. We can see here and then here. So it's looking like it's at a pivotal stage, and it's just kind of going to be, the range is getting tighter and it doesn't really know which direction to go. So tough market to trade. Right now I'm not trading this. I did make a scalp on it earlier today, just a few percent. But right now I'm in no position right now, except for my spot position. And so yeah, that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin, guys. I wish I could give clear advice, but I really don't know. It really does look like it's going to grind right here and try to figure out the direction. Again, for me to get really bullish on it again, I would like to see it break above 72,000. Better yet, get above this Liberation Day dump low. That would be even much better. And then we could be looking to close that CME gap. I think there is a CME gap in the 80s, if I remember correctly. So it would be really wonderful to see it get back up there. But until that happens right now, it's just grinding. So let's talk about copper. And in any well-diversified portfolio, guys, you should have it spread out. If you got all your money into crypto, it's extremely dangerous. I'll never forget, I was talking with one guy, and he was telling me how he was using Bitcoin as his savings account. And the same guy also, he didn't have a lot of money. And I thought to myself, how foolish is that? I'm like, if you need to touch that money within the next few months, to have it in Bitcoin is not smart. Just real ignorant. I mean, really ignorant. The guy had very little critical thinking skills. It's like, if you need the money in the next few months, you shouldn't have it sitting in Bitcoin, because you might fucking lose your ass. It can go down just as well as it can go up. So whatever money you guys need, and I would say, depending on what your job is, what your income is, and everything like that, but it's going to vary. But if you have a small income and you might need that money, well, then it's better just to keep it in cash or stick it in a government bond or something that's going to pay you, a flat percent, and you can withdraw it without any sort of penalty. But to have it in a volatile asset and have it as your savings account, and I'm going to even call it, it wasn't his savings account, it was just his spending account, is very, very foolish. So keep that in mind. So anyways, in a diversified portfolio, you're going to want to have exposure to a bunch of things, right? And my thesis is this on copper. If you believe that we are going into the age of energy, in which I believe we are, I think we are going completely, digital, AI, these data centers, electric vehicles, solar power, all of those things. All of it is going to be needing copper. And from what I understand, copper miner, to start a copper mine, it takes like 10 years to get one on track and moving. And there is going to be a deficiency based on current copper supplies and the copper mines that are available. Therefore, I believe in the future, copper is going to, as the demand increases, so will the price of copper along with the miners. So there's two that I'm looking at, and I will go over them right now. So we got this one here, and this is COPEX. This is global copper miners, okay? And this one is looking interesting. Let me put this on the weekly. So we can see on the weekly that this thing has been running up a lot, and it could potentially drop all the way back down here. I think the AI that I spoke with said that it actually should be a little bit higher than here, but here on this long-term diagonal trend line, we can see it could potentially come down here and touch around 72. It's currently trading at 87.94. It's not open right now, but yeah, this is the global copper miners. And I think that this one is an interesting one. It's more of a leveraged play on copper, and it pays a 2% dividend, a little over 2% dividend. So this one is interesting. It's more risky, it's more volatile, clearly, than the straight copper play. But it's something that I did buy into, and I got into it like right around back in here. No, it was like right around here where I got into it, right around this top right here is where I stepped into it, like around 77 bucks. So I'm up on it, but I'm looking to acquire more if this has any sort of pullback. Currently, if it pulls back down to like right around here, like around 82 to 84, it might be worth nibbling at. Again, not financial advice, guys. This is just what I'm doing. But if it comes back down here to touch this long-term diagonal, well, then I would be absolutely trying to load up some more, because I do believe that this is going to do well. Okay, and the other one that I was looking at is this one here, and this is just the straight copper play, and this is like buying basically copper. It follows the price of copper perfectly. So you can buy this one, and this one is, you can see the ticker CPER, and if you just want the pure copper play. And this one, hasn't gone up as much. I think it's up about 9% on the year. But I believe this one too has the potential. One is a little bit more risky, but you have multiples of upside on that one, where it's more levered than this one. But so maybe a combination of the two might work for someone. May work for me. I might just do a little bit of both. But I am a little bit more partial to this one, just because I believe that the miners are going to do well, and with limited supply, when I did my AI background checks on this, they are talking about a squeeze, and how copper they're not going to have enough to meet the demands, and with the whole explosion of the world being electrified, AI, data centers, EVs, all of these things that are moving towards electricity. Copper should increase in demand. I hope you guys don't mind the snoring of my little fat pug dog. He's crashed out. So anyways, that's my thesis, guys, and that's what I'm doing. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think copper should play a role in your asset allocation? Do you agree with me? Do you think copper is going to continue to go up in price as we, become more electrified? Do you think that the whole EV and solar and data centers, do you think that demand is going to continue to increase, or do you think we're in a bubble and it's overhyped and it's not? This is overdone and not a good idea. Would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments section, guys. All right. So there you have it. That's my take on Bitcoin's current price action and how I feel about copper and having it included in your portfolio, and why you might want to consider having it there, and why I believe it is a good call. All right. Hope you're all doing well. Monger out.